Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CYPRX video banger. In today's video, I'm going to try and attempt to make this video as short and as sweet as possible, but I'm going to be showing you all some ongoing fundamental developments that have happened over the past 72 hours, so just a couple of days ago, that the mainstream media is never going to cover. And this is all information surrounding Ripple's connection to the IMF. I don't believe in coincidences. I think that this is all a strategic part of the elaborate plan to transform our entire economy into this digital way of doing things, i.e. integrating Web3 technologies, fourth industrial revolution technologies. You guys catch the drift. These new technologies like blockchain, distributed ledger tech, cryptocurrencies, digital assets, CBDCs, artificial intelligence, API. You guys get the drift, right? I'm going to show you all physical proof that this is all ongoing and none of this caught the mainstream attention. And I have a firm belief that there is a reason for that. Okay. We know that this is all going to take a process, that there is a narrative, that there is a sequence of events that has to happen in order for this digital transformation to come into fruition. This is me showing you all that that sequence of events is for a fact happening. Okay. So do you all remember this September 2023 IMF PDF labeled "Time for a Transformation"? Right? This came out. I showed you guys on Twitter. This video went viral, got over like 300,000 views when I posted about this PDF. Okay, it's got the freaking all-seeing eye on it. If we scroll down here and we pay attention to detail, page 24, it goes on to read. This is where it gets important. It says, to promote digitalization, governments need to create a strong enabling environment. This means enhancing digital infrastructure, upgrading digital literacy, and developing skills in the workforce. Such measures would alleviate adoption costs, especially for small and medium enterprises, and it goes on to continue. But what I want you to pay attention on is where it says governments need to create a strong enabling environment, right? This means enhancing digital literacy and the digital infrastructure. So that means educating the general populace, right? And then here it goes on to talk about, for the reasons, sequencing is key. So this just proves what it is that I'm saying to you all, that they're going to do this in a sense of sequential events, okay? So now, let me take your attention over here to what took place in the past 72 hours. So if you're not too familiar, you don't really follow the IMF, I'm not going to get into how interconnected Ripple is with the IMF. If you're a Ripple, follower, you follow XRP, you should pretty much already know the connections there, right? We're not going to get into that in today's video breakdown. But here, what took place on October 13th, so just 2 days ago, 2023, the IMF annual meetings take place. So I was like, okay, let's tap in and pay attention to what type of information they're putting out, okay? Which again, 99% of the population is not doing, right? So check this out. They put this PDF out labeled the International Monetary Fund Regional Economic Outlook of the Western Hemisphere. This came out October 2023, okay? Now, I go into these PDFs and I look up keywords. So their previous document was talking about education. So I wanted to see if there were any further developments ongoing with education that needs to happen for this digital transformation to come into fruition. And of course, to my awareness, look at this. As always, tapping into the research for you all. So it says right here in this PDF that came out this month, adapting to new technologies is also a balancing act of building a workforce capable of adjusting to the rapidly changing world while protecting those who may be negatively affected by these technologies. This requires investing in human capital through comprehensive education strategies aimed at strengthening quality of education, right? So again, we see another PDF from the IMF mentioning education strategies aimed at strengthening the quality of education, right? That's massive. Remember, this PDF came from this event, the IMF annual meeting that took place on October 13th. Let me blow your freaking mind. On the same exact date that the IMF is putting out PDFs talking about strengthening education via these new technologies, Ripple had a event called the University Blockchain Research Initiative. Again, you guys can see the website right here, ubriconnect.com, implemented by Ripple. And what did they go on to talk about? This took place in person in Toronto, October 12th to the 13th, the same exact date that the IMF is talking about, furthering education in order to push this digital transformation and meet the agenda, right? UBRI Connect brings scholars, researchers, thought leaders, and UBRI network showcasing blockchain initiatives to share knowledge and inspire future research. Look at this. Look at how many freaking organizations, universities, and banks Ripple just spoke in front of. Here we see major market participants. We got speakers from Ripple. But let's just look at this. We got major universities, University of Toronto. I mean, there's literally over 25 universities that attended this event. Okay. It's not only that, we had the Bank of Canada attend this event, right? Massive market participants. I'm just scrolling down the list. You guys can see. Okay. We had individuals from Berkeley attend this event. Let me just scroll down to the full list. This is literally mind-blowing. Here's the representative from the Bank of Canada. Okay. We had individuals from University of Singapore. Like, it's just mind freaking blowing. Okay. You can go and see the venue. You can go look at what they talked about and openly discussed. Okay. Look at all the accommodations. Look at specifically what they talked about, different events, different days. Okay. They talked about the XRP ledger. They talked about XRP. They talked about blockchain. They talked about DLT, right? Look at all these freaking universities. Let me count the list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's over 12 universities in one row, and there's 3 rows of universities that attended this event. Okay. And you mean to tell me that crypto, blockchain, and distributed ledger tech is going away? No, people, wake up. So the same day, think about this. Let's just think about logic and what I'm showing you all right now, okay? Because the mainstream is never going to show you this. Most influencers are covering mainstream narratives like the ongoing geopolitical escalation in Israel, or CBDCs, or whatever the heck the SEC has everybody deluded to believe is the reality of the market right now. But behind the scenes, what's happening? The same day that the IMF is hosting international meetings talking about educating the general populace on these digital technologies, is the same exact time that Ripple is having international meetings with all universities globally. What? Okay. Call me crazy, but this is not a freaking coincidence. I'm sorry. It's just not. That's not how these elite organizations and systemically important groups work. They all operate off of time. They operate efficiently and effectively to get things done. And this is not for a freaking random reason. Okay. Now, let me further my proof that education is mandatory in order for this transformation to happen. So EY, I'm going to go over to Ernst & Young. Okay. We know their perspective on the markets. I've shown you guys previous panel discussions. Here's a representative right here from EY, where in this panel discussion that took place in 2023 only has 430 views. It talks about the adoption of digital assets by financial institutions. This representative, Volker Lehrman, hopefully I'm pronouncing his name correctly, openly said that the smart people, what are they looking for? They're looking for use cases. Listen to what he says.
World of tokenization, and I think still there is a kind of crypto winter, but the smart guys are now looking what to do next, and to use the time where the hype is going on, but it has slowed down to some extent. But the smart guys are really looking for the use cases.
The smart guys are looking for the use cases, right? So that's coming from a representative from EY. Now, I've also shared previous documents from EY. So if we come over here, we have an EY document. If we scroll up to the top of this document, I got to remember this page, page 5. It's called The Rise of Paytech, 7 Forces Shaping the Future of Payments, right? So we heard a representative from EY where they're openly talking about the smart guys are looking for use cases. And I'm going to show you all how they mention Ripple in their documents as well. Don't forget, remember, this is all oriented towards Ripple and how systemically important Ripple is going to be in the future. And we know what digital asset they provide. Okay. And we're not going to get into XRP because I don't like getting into XRP hype, but it's all connected. So here's the executive summary from this EY document. It says openly, remember, they're not hiding this information. I've shown you guys that they do not hide this information. It's just you have to be able to find it. It says the payments industry is going through a period of radical transformation with profound changes occurring across the entire sector. Payments lie at the heart of commerce and digital economy with the market size of around $240 freaking trillion, right? According to this document. And here it says, crypto and digital currencies will offer not only new payment methods, but a new infrastructure enabling instant settlement through distributed ledger technology, i.e. DLT, programmability, smart contracts, and tokenization. So they're confirming crypto's future. Remember, the EY representative just said we are going through a crypto winter. This document is from 2023, right? So it's confirming that crypto will see a future. And we know that he said the smart guys are looking for use cases. What's Ripple doing right now? They're presenting in front of large universities all over the globe At the same time, the IMF is saying that in order to push this digital transformation and for the world to adopt these technologies, there needs to be a push for education. It's not a freaking coincidence. Oh my goodness gracious. Here's another document from EY where it goes on to say, I'll save time. I might as well. I hate not showing proof. Okay, so this was page 25. It talks about, this is from September 2023, EY document, unleashing the potential, the next phase of digital lending, right? So if we scroll down here to page 25, what does it go on to say? Again, more proof from EY. Traditional banks are also undertaking huge transformation projects to upgrade their processes. Most banks are also undergoing accelerated digital transformation, where they are launching unified lending platforms to digitize the end-to-end lending processes. They are also undertaking strategic partnerships for building scale and technology prowess. Then the last EY document that I have, this is on page 6. If we scroll up here, this is from 2023. It's called Crypto Insights, a crypto assets newsletter from May 2023. And if we scroll right down here to page 6, they go on to specifically mention Ripple. It says Ripple and several other industry groups, including Ego Networks, Global Blockchain Business Council, and BXCI, I have no idea what the heck those are except for the GBBC, are collaborating to promote the use of cryptocurrency solutions to combat climate change. The focus is on enhancing the infrastructure ecosystem for the initiative, particularly in the area of carbon credit measurements that assess the reduction of greenhouse gases generated by human activities. So the previous EY document is saying that cryptocurrencies will have an impactful role in reshaping our digital infrastructure. This EY document is saying how Ripple is orienting their attention to promote crypto solutions for climate change. We know that crypto will be the future, and the gentleman from EY is openly saying, right, think about it, that the smart guys are looking for use cases during this crypto winter. All at the same time, the IMF is having international meetings talking about furthering education for this entire space to push this digital transformation, right? At the same time, Ripple is having meetings with the largest universities around the globe. People, please, I'm telling you all right now, stop paying attention to the mainstream narrative. Understand that right now we are in the process. Remember, the IMF document that says a sequence of events has to happen in order for this transformation to fully come into fruition. And you have to understand on a global scale that that takes time. It's going to be a couple more years before we see massive amounts of money. I'm talking about hundreds of trillions of dollars flood into the space, but it's coming. And if you have the patience and you have the cognitive ability to understand, the intellectual capability to really understand what's happening behind the scenes, it is not hard to find this information. This is all stuff that the mainstream is not going to show you. CNBC, Fox News, even people on Twitter are not going to cover this information for you because they're distracted. They're focused on the wrong thing. They're focused on the price of these digital assets now. That does not matter. If you understand what's going to happen in the future, then 50 cent XRP does not matter to you. It's irrelevant. All these other digital assets that have utility and use cases that are sub $1 right now, it doesn't matter if you know what's coming. Oh my goodness gracious, I don't get how people don't see it, and I feel bad for people that are tapped into the mainstream narrative, getting their brains freaking liquefied by all the crap that the mainstream is pumping down your throat to distract you from what is really happening, okay? You really got to tap in. As always, CYPRX researchers fully tapped in, showing you guys what's happening, that there are, for a fact, ongoing developments. There are systemically important organizations telling you all that crypto is here to stay, that it will have an impactful role and play a major position in the future financial infrastructure. And in my personal opinion, showing you all this information that Ripple is finally integrated with large organizations and universities behind the scenes. They will play an impactful role, and we know what digital asset they provide. That's all I'm going to say. You can't make this stuff up. Many blessings to you all as always. Be cognizant, be aware. If you guys want access to our research, you guys have that access visiting CYPRXtrading.com. You can tap into our monthly subscription program and gain access to all of our crypto insights and research behind the scenes. Many blessings to you all as always. Please be cognizant, be aware out there. I'm not telling you guys to go out there and buy XRP. Always assess your risk properly and understand that we could be wrong, right? There's always a chance that all of this could go to zero. They could pull the plug on all of crypto assets across the board, but I have a firm belief that that's not to be the case, and that they are going to attempt to shake individuals out and drag this out as long as possible, right? That's one thing that these systemically important organizations, banking institutions have on us as retail traders. They have time. They have so much time. They could drag this out for another 5 years before they quote unquote flip the switch and bring massive amounts of money into this market. People would give up hope. They would lose faith because of how long it takes. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, the large organizations, they know that this all takes time. So have a long-term perspective, constantly familiarize yourself with what's really happening behind the scenes via these documents, these fundamental pieces that are never going to reach the mainstream. Okay. I cannot stress enough. Now is the time to do research. Now is the time to join a community that keeps you in the loop of what's happening behind the scenes without having any mainstream narrative attached to it. Many blessings to you all. As always, be constant, beware, and I'll see you guys in the next video breakdown.